Hello everyone, this is Rookie and welcome back to Winds of Change. Let's continue where we last left off, shall we? Um, no, we're on this one. This choice will affect the story. Let's... We need to save the people. Vision or not, I couldn't let all those people die. It was my duty to save as many people as possible.
Good to know we're on the same page. Miles can't be the only one with information.
Are you sure about this? Remember what we talked about.
I nodded and reiterated my stance on the matter. Nothing was more important than saving innocent lives. All the better if some of them had important information. We changed our course and head to the Grand Tree. It didn't feel good to abandon Miles, but we had to. This was real. I used the future to cheat the present. In the present day, Demek found himself lost in thought. Using the tunnels under Mazio for solitude, he found peace. There was much to plan, but for once, they had the upper hand.
Valanorth, the Blade of Exodus. There must be something the spirits aren't telling us. Something we could use to take down the Triumvirate.
Ooh, I like his character. He looks very cool.
When I touched the blade, I saw our victory, but I'm not trained to interpret such things. I pray for the cooperation of Valanorth.
One of his advisors approaches, careful not to startle him. When he realizes he's detected, he lets out a soft yawn.
Another one of those sleepless nights, Damek? I can't blame you. It's been the same with me. Did I hear you say something about Valanorth?
Yeah, I was thinking out loud. In Valanorth, there's a person who can peer into the future. That's why I had Pro bring the blade there last week.
I'm aware of their culture, but their seers use spirits, not a blade. Do you think it will be that easy?
Worth the gamble, isn't it? It's not my place to wield knowledge of the future. But the seers are experts, conditioned from birth. Pro has sent word that the current seer is male. His investigation is progressing slower than I'd like. We need to pick up the pace, and fast. Now that they have the blade, they're a target. The Triumvirate is likely planning their attack as we speak. That's why I've decided to send an experienced fighter.
I guess that's me.
I've had the mayor of Mazio write up a decree. It will allow you entry and the ability to complete what Pro started. On paper, and to everyone else, it's a simple export. Only Miles knows the importance of this blade. All you have to do is deliver it from Valanorth back to me. That is, with the Seer at your side, Ulric.
You seem to think that will be easy. It's not likely they know the truth of Valanorth. I can bring the Seer, but they'll just decline.
Present yourself as a mercenary, not a rebel. Tell them a meeting of importance is happening in Mazio. We want their ability to help with some important decisions.
Dishonesty. Great way to start a partnership.
It worked for us, don't you remember? Look at how invaluable you've become.
Ulrich laughed and turned to look at the dark depths of the tunnels. At the moment, everything ahead seemed bleak and uncertain. Having an ally cast light on that future would be a tremendous boon.
So this is it, isn't it? With the Seer at our side, they can direct us. We can secure the victory that you witnessed.
I almost don't believe it, but it's true. Though I have to be honest with you, Ulric. There's a reason why I'm sending you instead of asking Pro.
And what's that?
He may not be strong enough to face what's coming. It's not just the hunch that Valinor will be attacked. In our victory, I saw its death and destruction.
I see.
So I ask that you protect the Seer and his allies at all costs. And when you come across Pro, have him join you as well. I'll make sure to prepare an exquisite welcoming party.
I'll leave first thing in the morning. What did you see exactly?
Nothing you can't fight your way out of, but trust me, it will show them the truth. And when you get back, they'll be ready to fight. But promise me one thing, and one thing only. That along the way the Seer touches the blade. If he can wield it, then we have our greatest weapon.
Alright. This is definitely from the past for sure. We enter the Grand Tree, thankful that it's not ablaze. But something else immediately stands out. It's empty. The survivors that we hope to see were nowhere to be found.
Empty, huh? Just what the hell is going on here?
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. Where are all the villagers? There must be something here.
Something like what?
Well, at least they're not dead. That's the good news. The bad news is we don't know where they're at.
Ulric, the Triumvirate is burning down Valinor. They seem to think we're caught up with the rebels. Thinking there's no evidence? That's stupid.
She starts pacing around the Grand Tree, mumbling. I could tell she's searching for something, but I don't know what. I look at Ulrich and he shrugs, just as uncertain as me.
Look, maybe Milas knew we'd come here. He must have left something behind for us, right? There's no survivors here, so we're back to evidence now.
Ulrich sighs and starts looking around as well. Whatever it is that Valessa wants to find, hopefully it's here.
None of this is helping, Valessa. It's a tree. Nothing more, nothing less.
No, there has to be something here. Come on, Seer. Give us a hand.
Exploration tutorial. Click the icon on any map will open this. Okay. You can freely move the cursor around the screen. It will change when you hover above an interactive object. Clicking on these objects will interact with them. Okay. Click the icons of your comrades to initiate a conversation with them. These icons will show how many books are in the area and how many you found. This icon, when applicable, takes you to the world map. This icon opens the save menu. Okay. It is optional, but highly recommended that you talk to your comrades.
Hmm?
Let's see. We've known each other our whole lives. Are you sure this is a vision? Find anything useful?
I wish. This whole place is a mess. Honestly, I don't even know what to look for. Milas isn't stupid, though. He'd leave something.
How long has he been the elder?
Honestly, only a few months. He was thrust into the position against his will. Something happened to his father, the previous elder.
Hmm.
But he's done such a good job, it's crazy. The leadership of Valinor did not skip a beat. He must have been training under his father.
What happened to his dad?
Nobody knows, actually. He went on a trip to Mazzio and never came back. Search parties came up with nothing. It's like he vanished.
That's weird.
Normally we'd hold an election, but things were crazy. That and Valinor is really big on family and tradition. Everyone just seemed to expect that Milos would take over.
You seem to think highly of him.
He's performed admirably for the position he's in. I doubt even a full election would find a better candidate. I was scared for a while, but he really filled the role. He didn't want to do it, but he kind of had to. It all happened so fast. I'm not sure of the specifics. But it was seamless. You almost couldn't notice.
If he doesn't want to do it, he shouldn't have to.
I guess, but we can't all get what we want. It's not like I grew up wanting to be a scribe. He'll grow into the role, I'm sure of it. But we can worry about that after this is over. There's lots to do, and we can't even find him. I really hope that nothing bad has happened.
What if he's helping the rebellion?
I'd want to get to the bottom of it then. There's more going on than we can take at face value. He'd have his reasons, and I'd want to hear all of them.
Could anything excuse what's going on right now?
That's the thing, though. It's not actually happening. If he can explain himself and we can prevent this, well, then we can deal with it in a reasonable way. We can't condemn him on a vision like this. That's like hating someone for what they do in a dream. Besides, we have no way of confirming this is his fault.
Are you sure this is a vision?
I'm making a pretty educated guess. I'm trained to detect this kind of stuff. But it's so weird because this feels like reality. What's going to happen to me? I mean, technically, I'm not real, right? That's hard to take in. This feels real to me. But the way you're acting, yeah, it makes me certain. It's very rare that I become lucid in a vision. But with the evidence at hand, I'm very sure. Better not talk about it too loud, though. I don't want Ulric to realize something is up. The rules state that only you and I can know.
Rules? What kind of rules are there?
There's entire books written on the subject, you know. But no one must know when they're in a vision. It could screw up what the spirits want to show us. These are gifts, blessings, directly from the realm of spirits. We're not in any position to harm what they give us.
How long do they last?
As long as any other dream, I guess. Or maybe when the spirits decide you've seen enough. That's one of the things we don't really know. I guess something traumatic, like your death, would end it. Our minds aren't fit to comprehend what would happen next. We should make the most of the time we do have in here.
Why do the spirits give me visions?
Nobody knows, but we assume it's to protect us. If we know it's coming, we can change what happens. Seers have done it time and time again for thousands of years. A lot of people think they'll want something in exchange. That they're planting seeds to reap later down the line. Stupid superstition, if you ask me. They just want to help.
Nobody helps for free, Valessa. We must be eternally grateful.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing more pure than the spirits. Without the visions, we'd have died out ages ago.
You call this a gift?
This particular vision, no. But the concept of visions in general, yes. Without them, we'd have gone extinct long ago. They guide the world to a better future. And what's better, they ask for nothing in return. only that we continue to harness this amazing power.
We've known each other our whole lives?
Yeah, it's just like I said, for better or worse. I was trained to be your scribe from a young age. We've been inseparable ever since. It's not exactly what I grew up wanting, but I'm not in a position to shun Valinor's tradition. Besides, I could think of people much worse to serve.
Let's see. What are your scribe duties?
Actually, you're seeing them firsthand. Imagine how confused you'd be without me. We're supposed to guide you through these visions. But when you wake up, you also need to report to me. Or, I guess you can report to Milas in these dire circumstances. Either way, I help you in here and you report out there. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't remember this. You'd wake up, shrug it off, and go about your day. Imagine what would happen to Valinor then.
Seems like you're almost more important than me.
Of course not. We're two sides of the same coin. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do anything without you. A scribe would do little good without visions to inhabit.
Are you the only scribe?
Yes and no. Actually, it's pretty technical. I'm your only scribe, but there's also a scribe in training. His name is Fortum, and he's prepared to take over if needed. It's a recent addition to the ranks, but it helps out a lot. Without a scribe, your abilities would be pretty useless. Having someone fully trained means no one misses a beat. Imagine if you had this vision while I was gone. Just from that, I think you can gauge Fortum's importance. He's a nice guy too, but I'm sure he's long since fled. I'm sure you'll meet him when you get out of here. He tends to knock on your door first thing in the morning. So, let's focus on the matter at hand, alright?
Alright. How long have we known each other?
Since I was a little kid, actually. I was trained to be your scribe from the moment I could speak. It's a prestigious position, and I couldn't exactly say no. Some of the other children were jealous. Their parents, too, which seemed really immature to me. Apparently, there's some competition for the role. But the elder chose me, and like it or not, here I am. I guess I'm just blessed that I actually do like this arrangement. In the end, the spirits really were looking down on me. Even if being here right now is terrifying, I'm still happy. Doing my duty to save Valinor, it's a dream come true. We don't know if the other kids would have fit this role.
Are you really forced to do this?
Well, I guess the answer is both yes and no. Before my parents passed on, they took care of the paperwork. Until I came of age, I had no choice but to obey. When I did come of age, however, I got to choose. Leave Valinor and pursue my own dreams, or be your scribe. I guess it's pretty obvious which one I chose, huh? So, while I was forced into the role, I chose to stick with it. Although, if this is any indication, we might have to leave Valinor. In that case, I get to be your scribe and travel the world.
I'm glad to have you by my side, Valessa.
Yeah, and same to you. Look at this vision. We're going to do great things. Let's get to the bottom of this and save our village together.
Perfect. Alright, Ulric. Find anything useful?
No, there's not much here. But I guess if we spread out, we stand a better chance. Not that there's too much ground to cover.
What should I look for?
If I knew, we'd have found it already. Valessa seems to think Milas left something behind, but he isn't dumb. He wouldn't leave stuff out in the open.
True.
If it were up to me, we'd all be long gone. I can't fight your choice, though. It's your village. Let's do our best to hurry and get out of here.
Where did you come from?
Huh? You mean today, or in general?
Where were you born, I mean?
Actually, I come from Alarinthia. Practically born with the blade in my hand. A figure of speech, of course. Don't picture that. Eventually, you grow up and need money of your own. I took the first ship to Mazeo and started selling my sword arm. I don't miss that place at all. It's disgustingly warm and humid.
Ugh, sounds like Florida. What's it like in Alrithia?
Completely different than what you think. We recognize power, not lineage, or claim to the throne. Or I guess they do, since I no longer live there. Instead of elections, there's a tournament every few years. Only the strongest tribe wins the right to rule Alarinthia. Of course, the rule is always contested shortly after. It's good not to make any close friends. You never know who you'll have to put to the blade. It's a culture of war, and only the strongest prevail.
That sounds pretty awesome, to be honest.
You don't have to suck up to me, I know it's awful. That's basically why I left the first chance I got. I took a stable living over that chaotic place.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Is there lots of competition as a sellsword?
The weak die out pretty fast, so not really. I'd say there's always a stable top 10 list. If someone isn't on it, they aren't worth your time.
Are you on the list?
Very funny. A joke question. I'll pass. The weak die out pretty fast, so not really. I'd say there's always a stable top 10 list. If someone isn't on it, they aren't worth your time.
That seems pretty shallow.
Hey, we're talking about putting your life on the line. Do you really think you'd want protection from a nobody?
I guess you're right, sorry.
As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this. Comes with the territory of being in the top 10. Though after this, I hope to rise a few ranks.
So he is on the list. Does your family miss you?
No, I'm with my true family in Mazeo. We have a different concept of family in Alarinthia. You choose your family, and members come and go. When I left Alarinthia, I left that family behind. I made a new one in Mazeo, and they're no less important. We don't go by blood in Alarinthia, but by choice.
What happened to your birth family then?
They died during one of Alarinthia's tournaments. What stung worse is that they made it to the final round. Alarinthia holds tournaments for the throne, not elections. But that's not why I left the nation at all. I heard about this in a letter a few years back. Haven't been home since and don't plan on going either.
The weather is really that bad.
Alarinthia is quite far away. It easily takes a few days to reach by sea. The climate is so different, I almost can't explain it. Just don't dress in layers. Wear as little clothing as possible. You're liable to melt into a puddle.
You must be exaggerating.
Alarinthia is known for its cutthroat political landscape. Even then, extreme heat is the leading cause of death. I'm not joking. Go unprepared and you'll pay for it. Alarinthia is quite far. Just don't dress in layers. Wear as little clothing as possible. You're liable to melt into a puddle.
I'll keep that in mind, thanks.
It's better to know beforehand than go and regret it. Who knows where the path ahead might take you. Just doing my duty to help keep you safe.
Have any theories about all this?
Well, yeah, if the Triumvirate is truly responsible. Alestia is divided into 4 nations, right? Valinorth, Mazeo, Alarinthia, and Baltius.
Baltius?
Each nation has a general that serves the Triumvirate. They rule in their stead and make sure everything runs smoothly. Except, you guessed it, the Elder or General of Valinorth. No one really knows why you remained untouched for so long, but the theory is that they don't want to anger the spirits. You know, because of all that spiritual energy residing here. So I'm thinking this is a power play. Take the 4th nation and control the whole world. They did the same thing to Mazeo about 20 years ago.
What happened in Mazeo?
The same thing that's happening here, but with less fire. They occupied the free town and placed a general in charge. They used terrible force, but the town improved because of it. I'll never agree with their methods, but Mazeo is peaceful. If they're burning villages down now, though, unforgivable. Perhaps the rebellion isn't in the wrong after all.
What are your thoughts on our culture?
It's not like anything I've seen before. So in tune with the spirits, you let them govern you. The rest of Alestia has history in their own hands. Not that it's a bad thing, of course. It's just different from the rest of the world. From what I've seen, the spirits have a good grasp on things.
So you live here if you have the chance?
Well, let's not jump to conclusions. I'm a sellsword. There's no business in peace for me. After I retire, though, it's always an option. If I live long enough to retire, that is. My business isn't exactly the safest in the world. What's going on here is pretty good proof of that.
Alright. I feel like I should save here. Perfect. Alrighty guys, we'll have to end my video from here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Winds of Change. Bye-bye!